Welcome to This Explainer. Today we are breaking down the exact lifespans of your home appliances. And more importantly, we're looking at why living right here in San Diego completely changes the math. Look, if you own a home here, you already know we have an absolutely gorgeous, unique climate. But you might not realize just how aggressively it's aging the expensive machines humming away in your kitchen and laundry room right this second.
Okay, let's just quickly run through our roadmap for today. We'll start with the San Diego reality check, look at lifespans by the numbers, uncover the 2 local appliance killers, go over some proactive maintenance habits, and finally, we'll hit the ultimate repair or replace formula.
All right, Section 1, the San Diego reality check, or why national averages just don't apply here.
So most homeowners buy a fridge and they figure, great, I'm set for the next 10 to 15 years, right? Well, our local environment completely crushes those expectations. San Diego's hard water and coastal air literally act as a time lapse for wear and tear. A model that easily survives 15 years in the Midwest is going to age significantly faster right here in our county.
Moving on to Section 2, lifespans by the numbers. Let's look at the real data.
Now, what's really interesting here is the sheer variance between these machines under standard family use. I mean, your refrigerator or oven might comfortably hit that 15-year mark, sure, but washing machines and dishwashers, they generally tap out way earlier. And remember, 2 major things constantly shift a specific unit within its range: how hard it's used and how well it's maintained. Obviously, a busy family of 5 is going to run a washing machine twice as hard as a couple does.
The extremes here are just staggering. On the short end, your dishwasher takes an absolute beating. It's living in a hot, wet environment full of moving seals, so you're only looking at about 9 to 12 years. But then on the other end, a gas oven can easily run for up to 20 years, mostly because it relies on basic, cheap parts like igniters. It's a much simpler machine.
Section 3. The 2 local killers, and what's actually destroying your appliances.
This is where our geography really works against us. First up, hard water. I mean, you can practically chew San Diego tap water, right? And that mineral scale it leaves behind just destroys wet appliances. It clogs up valves and absolutely stiffens the pumps. Second, coastal salt air. If you've got a home in places like Encinitas or La Jolla, you're facing aggressive salt air corrosion that eats away at exposed metal and completely ruins condenser coils. As one local expert pointed out, a coastal fridge can show sealed system wear a few years earlier than an inland one. And that makes perfect sense when you think about it. Corroded, dust-choked coils force the compressor to work in absolute overdrive. Because of that constant strain, that expensive beachside fridge might actually top out closer to year 10 instead of year 15.
So, Section 4, proactive maintenance habits. Let's talk about your defense strategy.
The great news here is that almost all of this premature wear is completely preventable. Here is your fluff-free defense strategy. 1, clean your dryer vent yearly to stop premature heating element burnout and, fire hazards. 2, descale your washer and dishwasher monthly to battle that local mineral buildup. 3, vacuum your fridge coils twice a year to save the compressor. 4, please stop overloading your washers, it destroys the bearings. And 5, make sure you perfectly level every appliance so it doesn't just vibrate itself to death. Simple, massive wins right there.
All right, Section 5, repair or replace. Let's get to the ultimate formula.
Because even with perfect maintenance, things will eventually break. We all face this stressful question: when is it actually time to just give up and buy a new one? Well, you shouldn't toss a unit simply because it's getting older. Remember, things like oven igniters, thermal fuses, and water inlet valves, those are cheap parts that are almost always worth fixing at any age. So age alone does not dictate replacement.
Here is the golden rule you absolutely need to memorize, the 50-75 rule. You replace the appliance if the repair costs more than 50% of a comparable new unit, and the appliance is more than 75% of the way through its expected lifespan. So, if both of those conditions are true, yeah, it's time to buy new. If not, repairing almost always wins the math.
And this is exactly how you categorize those failures: fixable failures versus fatal systemic ones. A single repair on a midlife appliance, like a drain clog, a leaking door seal, or a blown thermal fuse, that's completely normal wear and tear. You just fix those. But if you have a 10-plus-year-old fridge and the compressor goes, or an old washer needs a completely new control board or motor, that really signals the end of the road.
But what if the repairs are smaller? Well, watch out for the rule of 3. If you experience 3 separate failures in an 18-month window, something systemic is fundamentally wearing out inside that machine.
That is your undeniable, rock-solid signal to replace it rather than dumping more money into a sinking ship.
So take a look around your kitchen and laundry room today. Are your appliances actually working for you, or is the San Diego environment quietly draining your wallet every time that ocean breeze blows? Apply this framework, build up those maintenance habits, and take control of your investments. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.